Wagwan, wagwan, good morning, good morning. And welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? I've been whacking y'all bitches. I've been whacking y'all bitches with these dear DJs because you're a nosy ass bitch, so you stick around so you can hear them. I love that for us. In any event, ladies and gentlemen, please hit the thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up and let's get into this. Dear DJ. Dear Deja, the fuck I keep attracting either weird ass friends or weird ass in-laws. Ooh, I really think it's me at this point. Let me know what you think. So my man and I just got a new crib in Hoboken. If you know, you know. We've been saving and planning for so long to get this house. I'm so happy and excited for us. Love that for my relationship. 35 minutes into us living in our new home, and all of a sudden his sister's DV relationship is so toxic, she needs to get away and has to stay with us for a while to get on her feet. Deja, if you're asking me personally if I like the idea, no, I do not. But this is family, and as you always say, you don't turn your back on family and wooty woo. We let this weird bitch come, and from the moment she walked in the door, she's being weird. Barely acknowledged me in my own house. I asked her not to do something. She confirms with her brother if what I'm saying is the rules. She is very messy and unorganized, and then she has the nerve to be a distraction with the daily flow of me and my man's routine. All of this bothers me, but I'll stomach it for the sake of family up until now. It started with some packages I got delivered. I clearly see you take the package from the front door and bring it inside, but all of a sudden it's nowhere to be found. We only have cameras on the external parts of the house, so I can't say what she did once she got it inside. But I know 3 of my packages went missing that she took inside, and that didn't start happening until she got here. To keep the peace, when my packages weren't recovered, my boyfriend just reimbursed me. By the 3rd time, I had to explain to him that money nor the package was the issue. It's deeper than that. That shit fell on deaf ears because according to him, I got my money back and I could reorder again if I choose to. Problem solved. No, the problem is his sister is a thief and ain't no solving that. But in an effort to keep the peace as well, I stayed quiet. My man knows I'm a jewelry fanatic. So for every holiday, he picks me up something new to add to my collection. Last year, he bought me this historic mini monogram Louis bracelet that I love, but it miraculously is nowhere to be found. I didn't say one word. I lost where I was at. I didn't say one word because I figured if she stole it, she's going to wear it. And when I catch her red-handed, her and my man is going to have a problem. It had been a month and no sign of her with the bracelet until one day I see a car waiting outside my house and the arm sticking out the window has the Louis bracelet on. I immediately approached the car assuming it was her, but instead it was one of her little friends waiting outside for her. I'm annoyed that she's telling people where we live, but that's not the issue at hand. I approached the car and asked why she was sitting outside my home, and she informed me that she was a friend of my man's sister. I started to make small talk so I could get around to inquiring about the bracelet. And can you believe when I asked where she got it, she said my man's sister sold it to her for a third of what he paid? I am livid. I called my man to share with him my proof that his sister is a thieving witch and that something has to be done because she's stealing from me and not him. And you know what his ass had the nerve to say? I'll replace the bracelet. He'll what? What part doesn't he get? Deja, I'm 4 or 5 seconds from wilding. It's either assist me or come identify them. Send help ASAP. Sign, I've had it with these flowers in the attic. Girl, you something else. Well, alrighty then. All right. No, sis. No, sis. Keep it together. Don't do it, sis. Don't do it, young blood. All right. Um. Okay. Like you said, I can appreciate the fact that you exercised a lot of patience with his family, right? And you know that's what we do as spouses. You know, if your spouse has a cousin, a friend, or whatever the case may be, you try to be accommodating to that person, right? Because you don't want to cause any friction between your spouse, you, and the other individual who they are connected to. So I get that part of it, right? Again, Dear Dejas are preliminaries to Healing Heart sessions. So, I would say that I love the patience, but you can only have that much patience as long as it doesn't jeopardize you and your relationship. And stealing is a no-go. It's a no-go. I want to ask this, right? Because the way your man went about it, something about this makes me feel like he knows his sister is a thief, right? And the reason why I say that is because normally, right, I know that my siblings don't steal. So if one of my siblings was staying here and my spouse made that accusation, I would automatically get upset because that's not in my siblings' wheelhouse. So it would be like, no, the fuck he did not. You're a fucking lie. You know, you would have some form of reaction to it, right? And then I would be trying to get to the bottom of it because number one, I'm not reimbursing you for that. And number two on the list, my sibling doesn't steal. I feel like his reaction more so was like, that might be possible. So let me just pay you back so I can smooth this over, right? And so I'm wondering, does your man already have an idea that his sister may be a klepto, right? That's number one. Number two on the list, right? If he does, and you find that out, then you guys need to have a more serious conversation because I don't think it's fair for him to say, hey, something that because again, this is not his home. It seems like you guys share the home, right? So something that is we partnered on, right? You are now putting at jeopardy. You're now putting me at jeopardy for the sake of you. That's not fair. We're in this together, right? Now, in some situations, I've seen folks like, let's just say he was the person that purchased the home. Then it's like, okay, well, he makes the decisions, right? I don't know if that's the case, but if that is the case, you kind of wouldn't really have any say so about the sister coming to stay there because he might feel like this is my place and I can do what I want. I'm guessing if you guys purchased the home together, then the thoughts is more so like, no, we both make decisions in here. So I think that if he already knew to some degree that his sister could be a fucking thief, then those were some of the things that you needed to be made aware of before you guys came to a final decision about her staying there. Because then you get to, even I'll take it a step further. Even if you knew and still allowed it, you would be more proactive with your belongings, knowing that that's the situation. Am I saying that's something you would have wanted to do in your own home? I don't know. I'm just giving examples so we can kind of build off these scenarios so you can be prepared on how to approach this, right? So I think that before you even get to her, you need to talk to him. And the first thing is, did you notice already? Because when I'm coming to you, you're just like, okay, so to keep the peace, I'm going to reimburse you and that. No, I'm sorry. Is it that easy? Unless you were aware that this could possibly happen. And if you were aware, why didn't you share that with me? Because I would love to know all the facts if I want to make a final decision. And even if the final decision would have been no and we had to go back and renegotiate, fine. But at least I'm making my decision off all of the facts. Why did you omit some of the facts from the story? Which is, you know, my sis may need a place to stay, but let me share some things about you. She loud, she play music all the time, she leave hair in the sink, and oh, I forgot the bitch is a thief. Okay, thanks, got it. Because even if you were nice enough to say, okay, I can deal with that, but let me just get a safe, let me just get a new lock for this, you know what I'm saying? And granted, maybe you wouldn't have wanted to go that route. I'm just saying, had you been aware, then there could have been some choices that you could have made. So that's not really on the sister yet. Before we get to her, that's on him. Bro, why you ain't put me D? It's me and you in this shit together. Why you didn't put me D, right? The other part about that is, like I said, he may have felt uncomfortable putting you D because he know from what it sounds like, you know, you may like a lot of nice things. So he probably knows that had he shared that with you, you'd have been like, I know you fucking lying. She cannot come here. And he probably didn't want to hinder any chances of her coming, which is why he omitted that part from the story. Oh, that's Miss Colleen. Yes, so you have to kind of figure that situation out and see if that is the case, right? And if that is the case, what you can share with him is, wow. Okay. While that's understandable, right? It's still unfair because we both have to live in this space. So I need to know everything that's taking place in the space that I rest my head. You know, it's not fair. Oh, okay. So, in any event, like I was saying, you know, that part of it is unfair. And that's a conversation you and him need to have in detail. Because also, what else are you omitting from this? You know what I'm saying? All right, fine, got that, right? Once you and him have that conversation, I kind of pretty much, it sounds like you guys have a good relationship, so he could definitely see where you're coming from. And then you have to let him know that in these moments, right, You need protection. Because what happens with spouses, family members, and friends, and the new party that's involved, most times if people are long-term friends or blood relatives, they don't consider the spouse to be anybody. Even when you're married and have children with a person, it's still like, but I'm your blood, or it's still like, but I'm your friend for 100 years. So they feel like that person is kind of pretty much discarded in a sense, right? And again, do I agree or disagree? Hey, I can't say in this moment. But what I will say is right now, you need the protection because you have to clarify with him. You're letting somebody do something to me at the behest of you. And that's not fair. It's not fair to me. It's unfair for me to be jeopardized and put in an uncomfortable space by somebody that's affiliated with you. And I'm only allowing this because of you. And they're only doing this because of you. Because if you were not in this equation, this girl would never be here. And even if she was here, if you was not in this equation, I would be beating her ass for stealing my bracelets. So this would never happen. Right? But because of you, she knows she can do certain things. And because of you, I know that I can't. So in these moments, you have to now come and protect me because I'm being disrespected at the expense of you. It's not fair. It's not fair. So when laying this all out to him, if he can't understand anything else, you need to make it clear in these moments, I need you to protect me. Now, I can only speak from personal experience, and I don't know if this is a route that you would be willing to take. That's solely up to you, but I am going to offer it as a person giving feedback to this letter. I would also have to inform him that if I cannot be protected here by you, right, then I'm going to have to protect myself. And in doing so, that may lead to an issue with you and I, and that's just the facts. That is just the facts, right? And again, it's a very hard conversation to have because really, in a sense, you're saying to the other person, if you don't do 1, 2, 3, then I'm gonna have to do 4, 5, 6, and we're hurting each other in those moments. Because when you didn't do 1, 2, 3, it hurt me. So in turn, I had to do 4, 5, 6, and that hurt you. Nobody wants to talk about hurting each other in a romantic relationship at all. So this is a very, very hard conversation. But I know for me, I would have to have that hard conversation because I'm not going to continuously jeopardize myself and I'm not going to continuously feel unprotected when I can actually protect myself. I only ask you to do so is because I'm only being jeopardized because of you. And I'm trying not to further put our relationship in jeopardy by taking matters into my own hands. So I would first request, I need some protection. I need some protection. Whatever that looks like, I need it. And don't tell me it looks like, oh, every time she steals from me, you're going to reimburse me. No. Because the bottom line is I can reimburse myself. It's the stealing that's disrespectful. It's the stealing that's disrespectful. It's the taking something that belongs to me without asking me or getting my consent or permission that's disrespectful, and I don't like it. So don't tell me your solution is to continuously reimburse me because that doesn't work for me. The only thing it makes me feel like is we're putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, and I don't want to do that. I want to cover that bitch up and perform surgery and make sure it's closed up properly. So no, you reimbursing me does not work for me. The action has to stop. That's what works for me. So you let me know if you're able to do so. Because if not, my dear, I can do it for myself. And, in all fairness, I know that these are hard conversations to have because then, depending on the person's ego and attitude, they may start looking at it like, what the fuck that mean? And, it could get ugly. It could get ugly. But what I would suggest to you in the Healing Heart session is it may have to be ugly because you have to stand your ground. This cannot continue because what will end up happening is when it reaches the head, it will explode. And the number one thing that you would keep telling yourself is, I should have never let it go on that long. No. It's enough. So you need to, number one, get from him. Is this something you already knew? Because then that's a discussion we need to have. And then after you have that discussion, the next discussion is, can you protect me? Listen, I'll be honest with you. I personally am. I'm not even giving a lot of time for that because a lot of time has already been allotted. I've given time already. It was 3 packages. Now this is where we are. So I know me personally, and again, that depends on who you are. You may be a person that says, no, Khadijah, I've said it. He said he can do it, so I'm giving him time to do so. Okay, but let me know how that works for you. Because time could mean 5 days, 5 months, and 5 packages and 5 pieces of jewelry later. Is that something you're willing to deal with? And the only reason why I ask these things is right now, he's putting you at jeopardy and in harm's way. But if you let this continue, you're doing it to yourself. So it ain't gonna be no more crying and writing no more letters if now at this point, this is what you're allowing to happen. What's allowed is what? What will continue. I say that in almost all of my dear DJs. What is allowed is what will continue. So the courteous thing to do is to say, listen, I need you to protect me. And just like how we do when we pray to God, be very specific in your request from him. No, this is not protection meaning you keep reimbursing me. No, 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 because the disrespect comes from the stealing. It doesn't come from the actual thing that's being stolen. The disrespect comes from the stealing because it makes me feel like you're discarding me and just taking something from me without my consent or permission. That's disrespectful. So the protection comes within you correcting the behavior. So you need, the only way you can protect me is to get that to stop. I don't give a fuck what that looks like. If you gotta put the bitch out, put the bitch out. I don't fucking know. Okay? Now, once again, if he says, okay, boo, I got it, you have to decide how long you're going to let him have it. Because what ends up happening is if he is a person that needs a year to take care of the situation, that means another year of stealing, another year of things missing, another year of you being upset. And at that point, you are allowing it, not him. You've already raised your request, and he has not honored that, at least not in the time frame that you required. That's why I say put it out there. What you got? What do you got? And be honest with yourself. If it's like, nah, Khadijah, I could wait a little 3 months. I could wait a little 90 days. I could wait a little 30 days. I could wait a week. Whatever you feel comfortable with, but make it clear. Because at some point, it's not going to be on him and her. It's going to be on you. It's going to be what you allow. And once again, what's allowed will continue. It must be said, though it hurts to say, what is allowed is what will continue. So it will no longer only be on her or him when you're the person being stolen from. This doesn't affect anybody but you. So sis, you are, girl, okay, girl. So once again, in a Healing Heart session, we will be talking, boom, listen. You need to have a conversation about you and him. Bro, did you know that this was an option? Did you know that something like this could happen? And if you did, why you didn't share that with me? That's not fair, right? So once y'all have that one conversation, because again, he may not have omitted it from the story to be malicious. He just probably would have known that it's not something you would be in favor of, so I couldn't tell you because then she would be, you know what I'm saying? So that's human nature, right? Not saying it's right. I'm just saying that it's not shocking if that's why he did it, right? And then the second thing is your request for protection. And you have to lay out what that looks like for you. You have to be very clear. You have to be very concise. And you got to stand on business. You have to stand on business. You have to stand on business. I've been in situations like this, actually not many, just one, where my spouse has an ex and I'm telling him the disrespect has an expiration date. Okay. Now either you going to decide when that is or I'm going to decide when that is, but it is going to be so. Right. And I sat back and my boo told me, I got it. Don't worry about it. And he had it. He had it because there was only going to be a limited time only before I stepped in and handled it. And the way I was stepping in and handling it, he didn't want it to go down that way. Okay, so you better fucking do something. And things got done. So where there's a will, there's a way. I'm just saying that sometimes folks may, because things are not happening to them per se, they don't see the importance of it. They don't see how serious it is. They don't see how imperative it is to do something immediately. So they kind of slowly drag their feet. And they don't realize that dragging your feet can make things snowball into little things, snowball into big things. So again, if you're going to require that protection, you have to lay out a timeline so he can know you're dead serious. And I'll take it a step further. I've even had situations where it's like, okay, so you can't stop it and they won't stop. Let me remove myself. Bitch, I done moved out. Wait, whoa. Ain't no whoa. It's no whoa. It's no whoa. Because I gave everybody the opportunity to stop taking advantage of me and they didn't stop on their own, so now I have to stop them. Knock, knock. I'm always home. Right? So listen, my dear. There's work to be done. There's work to be done. There's work to be done on everybody's part. What I will suggest to you is the work that got to be done on your motherfucking part, bitch, stand on business. Stand on business. Put your foot in business neck. Okay? Because you're the only person getting played with here. So make your requests. Have your conversations. But make sure in doing so, folks, it's clear that you can and will stand on business, because if not, they will continue to take advantage of you. And sweetie, what is allowed is what will continue. In any event, my dear, I whacked y'all with dear DJs. Y'all know I don't play. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. Hit the thumbs up on this video. Also, drop down in the comment section. Have you ever experienced this? You know, has this ever happened to you? Have you had issues dealing with spouses in the past? Let me know some of you guys' experiences, and also share with the letter writer, because they love to get you guys feedback. Folks write me back like, thank you so much, DJ, and I really appreciate it. Sometimes they'll screenshot the comment and show it to me. So it's always a blessing to have other folks' feedback. We are all doing this work together. We are all on this journey together. In any event, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and please continue to enjoy your day. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up.